I can already tell that the media is about to have a field day with this. The Anthony Davis rumors are about to be at an all-time high after the comments that Anthony Davis just made. So you guys have all already heard all of the rumors out there so far regarding Anthony Davis from earlier in the year, when the media was saying that he's either going to end up with the Boston Celtics or the Los Angeles Lakers, and at some point, maybe even this year, he's going to come out and demand a trade. Well, I think Anthony Davis might have just added even more fuel to that fire, as after the Pelicans lost their last 2 games, actually no, they lost their last 4 games. After starting off the season 4-0, they're now 4-4 on the year. 3 of those losses coming without Anthony Davis, and another one came against the Warriors when Anthony Davis didn't have his best game. After all of that, this is what Anthony Davis had to say. Of course, I know that in order to win games, a lot of pressure is going to be on me. If we lose, it's on me. If we win, they give my team the credit, and I'm fine with that. A perfect example of this was against the Warriors. I don't have a good game and we lose, so I gotta play almost perfect every night to give us a chance to win. But my teammates do a great job. Even the game I don't play, those guys have been battling night in and night out to get victories. I don't put too much pressure on myself, but I know it's there. Essentially, he said, no offense to my teammates, they try their hardest, but if we're ever going to win games, it comes down to me playing almost perfect basketball. That's essentially what Anthony Davis just said. But does that really mean that Anthony Davis is starting to get fed up with having to carry the Pelicans on his back? I think at first glance the answer might be yes, and that's what the media is going to run with. Because I don't think there's any player in the league who wants to always feel like the organization, the team, the franchise completely depend on how they play. That's just too much pressure for any one person to have to carry year in and year out. That's pretty much the same pressure that LeBron James had in Cleveland last year, where we all knew that everything that the Cavs were going to do last year relied 100% on LeBron James. Except his situation, he didn't even have a Nikola Mirotic, Jrue Holiday, Julius Randle, heck, even an Etuan Moore would have been nice for LeBron last year. And all that being said, we still thought it was a miracle when LeBron reached the Eastern Conference Finals with what he had to work with. And Anthony Davis is in a very similar position right now, where everyone knows that the team he's on needs him, but I don't think that necessarily means that he wants out just yet. See, Anthony Davis is on a mission to prove that he is the best player in the NBA. He said it over the offseason that that's his goal and that he wants to win MVP this year.
My goal was to win MVP. I feel like I'm the best player in the league.
So in a sense, I think that he might be enjoying the fact that the Pelicans do depend on him so much, because it makes his case a lot easier for becoming the best player in the NBA. If he can will this not so great team to the NBA playoffs and maybe even get out of the first round while putting up monster stats, a lot more people are going to be leaning towards Anthony Davis might just be the best player in the NBA and then give him the MVP award because of that. Whereas if he was on a better team, if he got traded to a team like LA or Boston and became just a really good player on a really good team at that point, it's going to make it a lot harder for him to stick out. You look at Kyrie Irving on the Boston Celtics. If he was in Anthony Davis' position where the only way that his team could get wins was if he went out there every night and just dominated, Kyrie Irving would go out there every night and dominate. And because of that, we would think that he's a better player than a lot of people think that he is now. Even though a lot of people think that he's a really good player, he would seem even better of a player because the stats that he would be putting up would be astronomical. Whereas right now, like I said, we all acknowledge Kyrie Irving's a great player with the Boston Celtics, but he doesn't dominate the game nearly as much as a guy like Anthony Davis does, just because he doesn't have to, being on a much better team. Meaning it's going to be harder for him to win the MVP award over a guy like Anthony Davis. So that's why I don't think Anthony Davis minds being in the situation that he's in right now. I don't think he's necessarily trying to win a championship this year. He knows he's not going to win a championship this year with New Orleans Pelicans, but he's fine with that. Right now, his goal in the NBA is to establish himself as the best player in the NBA, win the MVP award, win Defensive Player of the Year awards, win all of that. And then I think after that, once Davis does establish himself as the best player in the NBA, that's when he's going to turn his attention to trying to win NBA championships. And if the Pelicans by then still aren't in a place where he can win an NBA championship with them, I think that's when he could look to lead. Next up though, Lakers fans everywhere who blame Luke Walton for the team's subpar start to the season and want to see him get fired. We're all just waiting for the news that the Lakers had decided to let him go yesterday. That's what they were dreaming of. It was a good day to be that kind of Lakers fan. And this is because we got reports from Adrian Wojnarowski that said this: after a winless 2-game streak, Magic Johnson's meeting with Luke Walton on Tuesday reverberated throughout the Lakers organization. The pressure's on the coach to win sooner than later. So I guess Magic Johnson just wanted to let Luke Walton know, yo, Luke, I ain't hire you, but I will fire you if this team does not start winning. Our goal is to win games and make the playoffs this year. We ain't got time for all this losing, so we need you to get the ship in gear. And if you can't, we will find someone that can. And of course, that's going to lead a lot of people to believe that Luke Walton is in the hot seat. And in a sense, he is in the hot seat, but the hot seat isn't that hot just yet. It's kind of like a lukewarm seat right now. See what I did there? Because it's not like if the Lakers lose their next game or their next 2 games in a row that Luke Walton is immediately going to be fired. I don't believe that, and neither does Luke Walton, as he had this to say this morning.
Management is going to give you the latitude to be patient?
I feel like I have a great relationship with management, yes.
Do you feel like you have job security?
I feel like I'm coming down here to do my job and coach, and I don't feel like I'm going anywhere, no.
Do you feel like the message got through?
And here's what I think about this. I don't think the Lakers are thinking about firing Luke Walton just yet. It's only 8 games into the season. And Magic Johnson, back during the preseason, acknowledged that the start of the season is probably going to be pretty bumpy for the Lakers. Even going back and saying that he knows when LeBron James first joined the Heat that it took the Heat around 20 or so games to figure everything out and finally look like a good team. So he knows that it's still going to take a little more time than just the 8 games that have been played so far. And even then, Lakers' 3-5 record after these first 8 games easily could have been a 5-3 record had things gone differently down the stretch of a couple other really close games that they've played in, had they been able to close out the games better. And if the Lakers were 5-3 on the year right now, no one will be complaining. But I get it though. Some people feel as if the Lakers are 3-5 instead of 5-3 because of Luke Walton, some of the mistakes they feel he's made as a coach, especially when it comes to his rotation. But once again, it's still just 8 games in. Luke Walton is still trying to tinker and toy with his rotations, find the best rotations possible, find out which players should be closing out the games and which players in general work well on the court with each other. Once again, the Lakers' goal this year is to get back into the playoffs, and they're not in danger of missing the playoffs just yet. Now, come back around the NBA trade deadline time, the All-Star break. If the Lakers by then are still like a 500 level team or even below 500 in danger of missing the playoffs, then that's when you can expect Luke Walton to get fired if that's the case by then. Anyways, lastly for today, Derrick Rose. Of course, the guy just had that remarkable 50-point game a few nights ago, and ever since then it's been Derrick Rose mania across the country. Anyways, yesterday, after Derrick Rose's emotions have kind of tempered down a little bit, he was asked again, what does this 50-point game mean to you and the NBA community, your fans, everyone? And this is what he had to say. I'm making history right now. Like, every time I touch the court is history. That's how I feel about it. And I feel like my fans and the people that watch, they can relate in some way. I mean, the people that really care about me. You have the people that talk trash here and there, but they're the ones that's following my story and the ones that's writing about my story. So who cares what they say? They just gotta keep watching and keep writing. Now, I do have to say that unfortunately for Derrick Rose, regardless of the NBA hyping him up to no extent, shamelessly hyping him up to no extent yesterday, talking about Derrick Rose versus Stephen Curry in yesterday's Minnesota Timberwolves versus Golden State Warriors game, regardless of the fact that before Derrick Rose had that 50-point game, when was the last time you heard the NBA try and hype up Derrick Rose? So, you know, they shamelessly hopped on the Derrick Rose hype train. Regardless of all of that, it didn't work out for the NBA because Derrick Rose had to leave the game within the first few minutes with a sore ankle. So hopefully everything's okay there, Rose. And we didn't get to see if vintage D Rose was still a thing or not. But that being said, the man is right. Derrick Rose is a legend in every sense of the word. Basketball or its fans will never forget the name Derrick Rose, which is impressive because he wasn't the first player in NBA history to have their career altered by a bunch of bad injuries. It's happened to a ton of other NBA players. But what makes him different is the fact that he keeps coming back to the game. A lot of players, every other player I can imagine that's ever been in this position, they would have called it quits years ago. Why would they keep coming back? They had to be insane to try and keep coming back and getting back to the form that they were at before the injuries. No, they would have given up. Not Derrick Rose. He was the first one that stuck with it and kept trying and trying and trying and trying. And here's the thing, even before this 50-point game, the 50-point game didn't make Derrick Rose a legend. He was already a legend before that, just for the fact that he kept trying to come back. That's what solidified him as a legend, not this 50-point game. So like he said, every time he steps onto the court, he's making himself even more of a legend because he kept coming back. The 50-point game was just the icing on the cake. And that's gonna do it for everything that we gotta talk about today, though. Now I do need you guys' help on deciding what I should do about the game recaps. I was planning on doing it on my Instagram account. I'm still planning on doing that on my Instagram account. Since I can no longer use footage on this channel, I was going to use the footage on my Instagram account and, you know, have game highlights, quick game highlights there every single day so you guys can stay up to date that way. But then I wanted to give you guys some input and see what you thought about that. And also, if you just want me to, I guess, go over some of the games without trying to use footage on my channel like I had been doing, but I don't know if you guys want that without the footage. So I just want to know what you guys think. Let me hear your opinions. Let me hear some of your ideas down in the comment section below, because I do those recaps for you guys, so I definitely want to do them in a way that you guys will enjoy. So yeah, just let me know what you want to see down in the comment section below. And just in case Instagram is the most popular option, I'll have my Instagram page linked down in the description box below. Anyways though, thank you for watching. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel with post notifications turned on so you don't miss out on more daily NBA videos. Anyways, that's gonna do it for me today, guys. So I guess until tomorrow, I'm out of here. Peace.